Hello, everybody, wherever you may be, from coast to coast and sea to shining sea. Welcome back to the world's radio show, Ham Radio Live. Thank you so much for coming today, July 15, 2021, a very big show for you about the other least used bands in all of ham radio. You might be surprised how hard it is to find gear that works there, but we'll give it a go to show you exactly how they work, what they're about, and hopefully at the end of the day, help you learn a little bit more about the band plan that maybe you've never worked before. Hello, everybody, wherever you may be. Man, oh man, it's good to see you. I do a short show. Got a quick appointment for Bob for medical, but I made sure to be here early today because I'd like to see some more people from Europe come, and I know it helps you if we get the show done sooner. Thank you for coming. Welcome to today's show. The whole passion here is to help you get in amateur radio, and we have many ways to help you, okay? These folks, just hit the Contact Us bar in their website and tell them where you are. They'll help you find Radio Club. Pick one that's close to you or pick one you think might be the best. First of all, the American Radio Relay League can be found online at www.arrl.org. In Great Britain, the Radio Society of Great Britain can be found at www.rsgb.org. They're really organized to help you out. In Canada, same thing. Great group up there. The Radio Amateurs of Canada stand at the ready to help you get licensed. Find a radio club near you by contacting us on their Contact Us bar, www.rac.ca. If you're over in Asia, maybe in Japan, contact the Japan Amateur Radio League. You can find them online. Find them online at www.jarl.org. And the final one, down in Australia, they are the Wireless Institute of Australia. Find them online, www.wia.org. It's great to see you guys today. Happy Thursday. If you'd like to email the show, maybe you got a show suggestion. It could happen, right? Maybe you got a question about a product, having a problem with the test. Let me see if I can help you. If I can't, I'll help find someone who can. Contact the show at cqhamradiolive@gmail.com. You can be helped there, okay? If you'd like to support the channel, donate via PayPal at cqhamradiolive@gmail.com. Or there's another way. I was told by Glenn in Australia today that he was having a problem with this. He actually was. He said, mate, I tried to give you a donation, and it was really very special, to be honest with you. A very big donation. And I was like, man, are you sure you want to go this much? Because that's a lot of money. And he said, yeah, I want to do this. So I want you to give you another email address that you can use on PayPal that will help you find me, okay? And it's spelled a little differently, okay? But it's the real one, okay? Same one that's on QRZ. You can also use this email address here. It is proverbs356@me.com, okay? Proverbs, so it's kind of like the Bible book Proverbs, 356@me.com. Welcome to the show. It's great to see all of you guys. Thanks for coming. Welcomes first, John Stevens in the house, WB4HZA. Welcome. First in today. It's so nice to see you, John. Thank you for coming. Martin, good day, everybody, and everybody else. From Holland, his call sign, Papa Echo 9, Tango India Golf. Martin, it's always an honor. Thank you for being here, truly. My brother Bob, courtesy of WIFI, welcome to the show. It's good to see you. And Nikolai, finally able to join the show. I think the earlier start helps. At least I hope it does. Welcome, Nikolai. It's good to see you, man. I've missed you. I really have. We have some good news for you today, by the way, that will help you. First of all, before we go any further, we'd like to honor a silent key. Al Gross from our channel told us about his mate, and this guy's very close to him. He just passed away a couple of days ago. Richard Sharznik, his call sign was Kilo 9 Alpha Alpha Oscar. We'd like to dedicate a moment of silence as well as some Morse code goodbye to him to honor him. So if you give me just a quick moment, let's honor a silent key, Richard Sharznik, Kilo 9 Alpha Alpha 0. Thank you. Godspeed, Rich. You'll be missed here in amateur radio. We really will. Thanks, Al. I'm sorry you lost a good friend there. I really do mean that. If you have a silent key that you know that's been close to you, please feel free and hit me up here at the at the Gmail address. Just hit me up here at cqhamradiolive@gmail.com. Let me know about it, and we'll do a tribute just like that for them, okay? All right, let's get into the show today. A bunch of news to help you. First of all, email to ARL Life members is legit. If you've received an email and you're a life member of the American Radio Relay League, please answer the email. Please respond to it. They're wanting to make sure the records are correct for your contact information. That's all. If you haven't received it, or you are a life member and you want to make sure that they have your information right, you can call them at 860-594-0200 or email membership@arl.org. Thinking of people like Nikolai and, Ishmael here, Youth on the Air campers are activating Whiskey 8 Yankee, also making a space station call set up for July 14th. But the camp still goes on. It goes on through Friday the 16th. Great stuff happening there, but that's not the only thing. Check this out. Youth on the Air contest second leg. So Nikolai, this will help you. This is something for you. Last time they did this, okay, and this was last month in June, okay? The first leg, more than 100 entries were from contesters between 7 and 25 years of age, okay? It basically is about 3 12-hour sessions with the aim to boost on-the-air activity by younger radio amateurs and to support youngsters on the air. Now, the second leg of this, like for Nikolai and for Ishmael and anyone else who is under the age of 25, is going to be the 18th of July from 10 UTC to 21:59 UTC. Speaking of Dominica, they've got a lot of things going on there. They have been doing some research to try and help set up some rules and find out what will work best for people in the small island of Dominica. Great stuff happening there. They've been working hard to try and make sure that everything is smoother and is more organized, because there's actually quite a bit of ham radio operators on that small island. And because of hurricanes that come through the Caribbean, it's a very, very important place. So heads up, and lots of applause for the folks at Dominica. Yeah. They've done quite a bit of work there to help make things good for people who are in amateur radio. RSGB DX News. Charlie 6 Alpha Hotel Alpha is going to be active from the Bimini Islands from now until the 21st of July. A large team is going to operate sideband, CW, and FT8 with up to 5 stations. You can QSL via Club Log's online QRS, Logbook of the World, or via Kilo 4, Kilo Sierra Whiskey. Also, a team of 6 operators will activate Romeo India 0 Fox Mike from Monaron Island, which is Islands on the Air 149. Going to be happening today through the end of July. Okay, it's part of the Islands on the Air contest, all right? Plans are to operate Morse code, single sideband, and FT8 on various bands with 2 stations working. You can QSL via Uniform 8-3 Alpha. All right, let's take a look at the weather. Before we do that, and Nikolai, you're very, very welcome. I think of things like this, and I try and help young hams, because that's really hopefully the passion of this channel. I want to help you, and I want to help all the folks that are young that watch it. I realize that your time is limited. I hope that helps. I'll have a description section link for you for that Youth on the Air in the description once the show's rendered, and I have a chance to put it in the description. So give me a few hours, I'll have that done for you. We've got a trivia question for you today, and this one might fool you. I always say that, but then somebody gets it right away, and then there you go. All right. And don't think that the answer is C. It just was on there from yesterday. All right. The question today: what is the northernmost state in the contiguous, meaning continental, lower 48 U.S. states? So which one goes the farthest north? Is it A, Minnesota, B, Washington, C, Maine, or D, Alaska? Look at the question carefully before you answer. A, B, C, or D, and we'll let you know, all right? Current conditions, weather is powered by ICOM radios. ICOM with the very best in SDRs and superhits for you. Find them at icomamerica.com. We've got John Stevens. He's answering A already for the trivia question. Let's take a look at it. He says Minnesota is the most northern state in the continental United States. And John, you're a flippin' wizard. You're correct. My gosh. North America now with 9, Europe 6. My goodness, John, that's great. And then Scott, from the north side of the tracks, beside the old lady's house that keeps a lot of cats, he also answered C, but he's still here. And by gosh, from North Boston, New York, we're grateful. Thank you, Scott, for coming. All right, let's get back to the weather. By the way, congratulations, John. You're right on that. It is Minnesota. And the reason Minnesota is the northernmost state is if you take a look at Minnesota, there's a little point that kicks up right there. It's just right at the very top of Minnesota. That's why it's the northernmost state in the continental U.S. Otherwise, it would be Maine. No joke. All right. Current conditions powered by ICOM. SFI is as anemic as you can get. In fact, SFI numbers really bottom out about 65. This tells you how low it is. This is actually the charging of the ionosphere for ham radio calls right now. So 71 is really bad. A couple weeks ago, we had them in the 90s, and it was fantastic. It's a huge improvement. However, 71 is not good. The good news here is the K-index has dropped from 4 to 2. So that means noise floors around the world will be lower, and we'll show that. And it actually is lower today around the world. The A index is 14. Solar wind is not bad at 462.2 kilometers per second. If you take a look at the MUF right there, it shows 30.33. However, it's a little lower than that now. Coronal hole 76 is moving to the south part of the sun. No worries right now about any kind of coronal mass ejections. A1A, here's why we've got a 71. You just don't see many bright spots there. K-index is good. It's dropped from a high of K4 yesterday, kind of dropped a little bit, and it went down, way down to K2, bumped up to K3 earlier today, and now it's been steady at K2, so that leaves us with quiet conditions. The aurora north reflects that. We still have some high aurora latitude auroral propagation. Might be possible up towards the Siberia area. In the aurora australis, just not workable. Not workable at all. MUFs around the world, 15.38 up in Alaska, 17.64 in Boulder. Look at Ascension Island, 24.10. Wow. Athens, Greece at 20.47. Darwin, Australia, 11.42. And out of Hermanus, South Africa, an 8.38. Noise floors around the world moving from left to right. Hawaii's S3 on 40 and 20. S3s throughout North America as well. 40 meters S3 and on 20. We've got S3s from Canada down to the southern United States. In South America, out of Rio de Janeiro today, we've got an S3 on 40, an S2 on 20. Down in down in Buenos Aires, S3 on 40, S2 on 20. Europe, pretty solid. 40 meter S3s, both in UK and in Germany out of Hamburg. We also have an S3 on 20 meters in UK, but an S2 out of Hamburg on 20. Russia, S3 on 40, S2 on 20. India, look at that, S2 on 40, S1 on 20. You can see how the K-index dropping has really lowered noise floors here. In Japan, S3s on 40 and 20. Australia, S2 on 40, S2 on 20. And New Zealand's pretty quiet, S3 on 40 meters and an S1 on 20. Ham radio forecast and shortwave forecast for today. Your daytime ham bands open today. Look at this. Should include 20, 15, 17, 10. Look at that. They're there now. 20, 17, 15, and 12. That's because even though we don't have a high SFI, we've got enough of an MUF to make those calls. So try out 15 and 12 today. You might find some fantastic DX there on voice. Data 30 and all the way down to 2 meters. E-skip voice and data still on 6, 4, and 2 meters possible. Your nighttime ham band openings 160, 80, 75, 60, 40, and they'll be noisy, just part of summertime conditions. 30 will be open for data, and 100% chance 20 meters being open tonight to work the very best DX you can till about midnight your time. Shortwave bands today 31, 25, 22, and 19 meters. Your shortwave nighttime 120, 90, 75, 60, 49, 41, 31, 25, 22, and 19 meters will be open tonight. 19 sounds great. So does 49, 60, and 75. So we're looking forward. Good conditions, my friend. Should be a really, really good day to work your ham radio. Welcome to the show. Some quick hellos to you folks that have come in during this time here. My friend Tom, look at him, all the way from Bahrain. Tom, tried to get on a little earlier today. Thanks for coming, mate. His call sign in the U.S. is Alpha Echo 1 Tango Papa. In Bahrain, Alpha 92 Golf Whiskey. Thanks for coming, Tom. It's always good to see you, man. I think of how far you are away. You're literally halfway around the world, and you're here. So, Tom, thank you for being here. I think we have a big show for you today. Now, I don't have test questions. I'm going to be honest with you because I've got to take my brother to an appointment. But what we're going to talk about today are the rest of the least used ham bands and the story behind them. When you take a look at the U.S. amateur radio bands, they go all the way from Longwave to microwave. They really do. But when we take a look at the bands that are just allocated back in 2017, these are two Longwave bands, meaning that they are just below your AM radio in your car. That's why they're called Longwave. Medium wave has traditionally been from 530 kilohertz up to about 1710, right? But in 2017, things changed. Out of experimental mode to legal mode came the 2200 meter band and the 630 meter band. But take a look at the power limitations. 1 watt. Now that's EIRP, meaning that it's isotropic. Okay, so 1 watt isotropic radiative power on 135.7 kilohertz to 137.8 kilohertz, right? And then on 630 meters, which is roughly 472 kilohertz to 479 kilohertz, you can use 5 watts, except if you're in Russia within 496 miles of Russia. So this is in Alaska, right? If you're in Alaska, 496 miles within the Russian border, your power limit is only 1 watt. Let's talk about this, though, because there's quite a bit to talk about the history since this all came out in 2017. All right. First of all, let me talk to you a little bit about how this all worked. And I want to thank Jeff, November 4, Papa Oscar Delta from Madisonville, Tennessee yesterday, because he mentioned a very valid point about the other two very little used bands in ham radio. And these are those two. They're actually in the long wave spectrum, but they're open now for ham radio. But there's little activity on them. One could argue one of the reasons is the lack of transceivers and commercially built antennas to operate on these frequencies. But both of these long wave frequency bands, meaning below the medium wave dial at 530 kilohertz, are actually used quite a bit by amateurs. Now, they're done usually with homebrew components. And the mode of operation here is mostly slow CW. You'll find digital modes like Whisper and FT8 there, but they're used very little. You see voices available for them, but voice really isn't used on these bands, okay? So when we're looking at things like 630 meters, transmitters are difficult to still find. Many are building their own or using transverters. However, there are a few commercial models available for CW use. One of them is the Juma TX500. I'll have the information for that below in the description if you're looking to buy one. CW transmitter kit. So it's available for working, 630 meters. Another kit is the EME 223-630M kit from Australia. The construction takes about 6 hours to fully build it and test it. This transverter is designed as a transmit down and receive up converter with a fixed frequency range of 472 to 479 kilohertz and produces up to 5 watts of linear output. So it's going to be legal. It'll work 5 watts EIRP. Now, it works great with something like a Yaesu FT817 or similar 3.6 megahertz 80 meter band transceiver. The design incorporates a 500 kilohertz low-pass filter that's used on the receiver for broadcast band rejection. There's some noise here. Also on transmit as a low-pass filter to effectively reject the second and third harmonics. There are further filtering in both the RX and TX paths using a tuned 472 to 479 kilohertz bandpass filter to effectively remove remaining out-of-band signals. Okay, the design incorporates an RF sensing circuit for automatic switching from RX to TX mode, and this cannot be overstated. You have to have that switching unit. If you go and use, say, for example, a Kenwood TS570, which can go down to these frequencies, okay, and you build a homebrew transmitter, you have to change bands because you don't want to be transmitting and have the receiver on the same band at the same time. You can really mess up your incoming RX path in your rig. You don't want to break that, so not a good thing. The MF Solution 630 meter transmit converter can be purchased for about $95 plus tax. So we'll have information about that down below. And these bands, for the most part, I'll be honest, have been very little used. Yesterday when we were on the show, and again, I really want to thank Jeff, November 4, Papa Oscar Delta, for his comment, because he's right. These are very little used bands. And for the most part, the people that use them are experimenting. Okay. These were experimental bands for a long, long time. You go back to 2002, they were experimental. Wasn't until 2017 that all of a sudden it was legal to use these bands. Let's take a look at what it's like to work these two Longwave bands. Also show you a record. Yeah, a record that was set for making the longest QSO doing it. Hope you enjoy it. First of all, let's take a look at the 630 meter band. This is just below the 530 kilohertz medium wave band. Here's one of the transceivers you can use. It's the Juma 5000, and you can purchase this. I'll have the description for you for this below. For 2200 meters, here's the kit we talked about, $95 shipped. Okay, so that's for 2200. But what's it like to work it? Here's 630 meters for you. Hope you enjoy this. Thank you so much to the producer who made this, because not only did he make the video, he also made the parts to be able to make the QSO.
Hello YouTubers and fellow hams. It's been a few days. I've been playing around a lot with the big monster mag loop back there. And made some observations and done some testing, and I thought I'd put together a little video and talk about what I've discovered so far. Now, first off, to get it out of the way, it's not an efficient antenna for transmitting. It's a great antenna for receiving. It's really sensitive, but it's not a great antenna for transmitting. It's known that even a larger loop, like a classic style loop that you'd have outside on these frequencies has efficiency in the single digits, 3, 4, 5% efficient. So this guy back here is probably 1 or 2% efficient, for transmitting. I'm pumping in 6 watts. I might only be getting a couple hundred milliwatts radiated power. So I'm not expecting it to be fantastic, but I was hoping for making that first contact. And I did. This was the second night that I had the antenna finished, and I was trying to call CQ. Let's have a look at that. I was just getting ready to do my first regularly scheduled night of CQs with the new loop, 630 meters. Sorry about the camera audio. I'm kind of pressed for time. It's coming up on 10 o'clock, I got 10 minutes. So I thought what I would do is show you how I tune it up, the loop, that is. So on the computer, I have the software running for the Mini VNA. This loop's bandwidth is very, very, very narrow. The lower frequencies, the more turns I've seen on mag loops, the narrower that Q or that bandwidth gets. So it's really important to get it precise. And I have got my radio set, and I'm going to zero beat the transmitter on the frequency that I want my carrier at. So I'm going to put the radio at 474.5, which is about where I want the carrier to be. In USB mode, that's where I want my carrier to be, 474.5. Now I've turned the volume up, and I'll use the spot button on the transmitter. Right there is zero beat. So the transmitter is now set to 474.5.
That's intriguing.
Back to CW mode.
Resonant.
Yep, that sounds about the right pitch that I want. Okay, so I'm transmitting at 474.5, so I need to get the SWR on the loop at the bare minimum for 474.5. You really need some kind of an antenna analyzer to tune this. It's so narrow. You can't do it by ear. SWR meters, you'd have to spend a lot of money to get one that works at this frequency range. If you got a bird watt meter, I think there's a slug that will go down to 500 kilohertz and it'll work down to 470. But it's a really expensive slug. I think it costs as much as the meter. I read that somewhere. I could be wrong. I could be completely off on that, but I know it's expensive. So you really need some kind of an antenna analyzer that can handle this frequency range. I'm using the Mini VNA, and I've got the loop hooked up to it right now, and I just scanned it. And right now my lowest SWR is at 474, but I wanted it 474.5, so I'm going to put a marker there. And let's see, I need to come up in frequency a little bit, so I'm going to just barely twiddle the cap. So I want to go up in frequency, so I want less mesh, which means this has to go that way, so I want to turn this just slightly that way. I just turned that about 7 degrees, and then I'm going to come over to the computer and hit scan again. And oh, I hit it. I'll take a screenshot of this for you, but I actually hit it right where I want. 474.496 SWR is 1.39 to 1, so that's pretty good. So I'm ready to transmit. I need to hook the antenna back up to the transmitter now. And now that I've got the antenna tuned, I don't know if you heard that tone, but that was somebody doing JT9. Okay, one other thing I want to show you. I have the field strength meter sitting over there in the vicinity of the loop, so just a second. Now hopefully that is not too much out of focus. And you can see the meter. And it is slamming so hard against the side that I can hear it go tick, tick. So it's, I'm going to turn that down so I don't hurt my meter. So it's definitely radiating really well. Alright, now I know you can hear that because I got the volume cranked way up. That's a JT9 transmission. I don't know who it is. I haven't got the computer on to monitor it. I should probably do that. QRZ.com, so I can look this call sign up if I don't recognize who it is. Yep, K9KFR. Okay. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to call CQ and we'll see what happens. Somebody's answering me. Hope you can hear that on the camera audio. About an S3. K9 BLI, he's across town. But hey, it's over the air. Okay. On the 559. You're yes. 5 2 9. I know where he's at. He's off the side of the loop right now. Well, hey. Back to you. So I got my first contact on 6:30. Even if it's a local guy, it's a contact that's over the air. I'm sending him a QSL card.
Sorry, everybody. We had a little freeze problem there. Thanks for sticking around. The 630 meters, not normally used, right? Well, it's because it's the way it is. Sorry about the freeze there. That was kind of one of those things I'm going, wait, stop, don't do this. At 630 meters. Thank you again to a really good ham that put that together. Kevin, great job again. Man, keep doing the good work. I mean that. Keep doing the good work. Wow. Wow. All right, let's take a look at another one. We're kind of running short on time, but I want to get you something real cool. 2,200 meters. Can you imagine? 2,200, you're way down. What if we worked it on antique gear? Take a look at this. This is from World War II. This is German radio gear. And again, now this is 630 meters, not 2,200, but we'll get there. See, you've got to change from receive to transmit. Isn't that something? Look at the condition of this. You see how he's got to turn the receiver off and then turn the transmitter on, and vice versa. Remember, this gear is from 1940. Changes back to transmit. Okay, so we see how that works. I had to shorten it out just a little bit just due to time. I need to get my brother to a medical appointment, but I don't want to miss this. This is amazing. This is the longest QSO ever made on 2,200 meters. This is absolutely stunning. Now, to give you an idea, they mentioned the antenna, right, of 150 meters. It's over 430 feet high. That's amazing. Take a look at this. It's ham radio history. Again, like we talked about, to work these bands for the most part is going to be homebrew equipment. But what he accomplishes is amazing. These are signal reports from all over the world. Again, remember to work these bands. They work CW in slow mode. That's how they work it. It's very slow CW.
Ten televizní kamilák, jo?
Again, QRSS, slow CW. Also, remember, there is a power limit here. Remember, 1 watt, EIRP. But this is not done in the US. You got to watch the sons look after this is all done. It's like, okay, Dad, right? Look, watch at the end of this part. There it is. So there you go. That is a transatlantic record, by the way, for working 2,200 meters. Amazing. Amazing. Well done. We'll have the complete video down below. I didn't want to get to the end. I can't because of timing. But I'll tell you this. They received an award from the DARC for that, too. So the German Society, the German Radio Society, gave them an award as well for doing something so historic. These two bands really began a long time ago as experimental bands, and people kept working them. And finally, the ARRL got the FCC to approve them. That's why we have those two long wave bands at 2200 and 630 kilohertz. And if you take a look again at the band plan, to get these two bands, the FCC was lobbied by the ARRL for years, literally, to get just even 1 watt on 2200 meters and to get 5 watts on 630. It's amazing what's happening there. And it's all done by hams who truly just have a passion for trying to do something hard. I admire that. It's people who try to pioneer something and make it work. Now, who knows if manufacturers are going to start making, transceivers are going to work 630 and 2200. It might work in the future, but right now, for the most part, things are homebrew and antennas are homebrew. There's a lot of delicacy that goes into doing that. Congratulations to the amazing work being done by all the people who are doing work on 630 and 2200 meters. Just brilliant. That's amazing to me. It really, really is. Folks, I got to tell you one more thing. You'll like this. One more thing. I'll have those videos, by the way, down in the description section, as well as how to build the antennas and transceivers. Not really transceivers, they're more transverters. Also, the link will be in the description section. Give me a few hours to get that in, though. But I do want to share something first. This was shared to the channel by one of our viewers. Take a look at this. It's pretty cool. If you wonder, maybe, I'm going to get it centered here for you so you can see it. Perhaps you've wondered about people who might be in ham radio that are near you. And this works around the world. It really does. All you do is you put in your call sign, and then all of a sudden, it'll show you who's near you. Take a look at this. It's amazing. I did it, and this was the information by me. I had no idea there were this many ham radio operators near me. No idea whatsoever. Look at this. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I truly want to thank a gentleman who shared this with me. This is Lee Rosselli, Whiskey Alpha 8, Romeo, November, Bravo. He told me about this, and I was like, man, we got to share this on the show. This is really, really good. It's something that, maybe you don't know about. Again, you'll find this, and I'll have the link to it online here on the description section. All you'll have to do is just take a look and, go to the description section. So the link will be there. Also, want to take a moment before we close. I want to thank Greg Robinson. No, nobody here probably knows Greg. Greg is a gentleman that's near me, and Greg is very special to me. I'll tell you why. I've had a really hard time building the step-by-hour urban beam. When my MRI came back on my neck, it was really serious, and I noticed the problem becoming really bad when I tried to build it. My fingers would go numb. I couldn't feel the fasteners, couldn't do anything with them. And so I put a little request for help on the Step-by-Hour IO group, and Greg responded. And I want to thank him. Greg's call sign, Kilo Alpha 7, Mike Delta Mike. He's going to come on Saturday to my home to finish the build of the urban beam. Greg, thank you, man. This is priceless to me because I can't do it. My body won't do it. So special thanks to him. Also, guests coming to the channel, want to remind you, we have Steve Deans from Alpha Antennas coming to take your questions soon. Date to be announced, but I'll let you know with advance notice so you'll be here. Again, he owns Alpha Antennas. He's going to come to the channel and see us all. So we're looking forward to having him on the show. Steve, thank you. Thank you very much for agreeing to come on because I hope there's going to be a lot of questions for you. Also, Thomas Wagner. He's the inventor of the N1MM logging software for contesters. He's going to come answer your questions, and he'll show you how to use the most used contesting software there is right now in ham radio. Literally everybody wants an N1MM log. He's the guy that invented it, and he's going to come to the show and help you understand how to do it. Isn't that cool? And Thomas, thank you. Thank you sincerely for that. If you'd like to get in amateur radio, or you'd like to join the American Radio Relay League if you're here in the States, if you're not and you want to find a radio club near you, they can help you do that too. Find them at www.arl.org. And great question by Al Gross. And Al, I hope you saw the segment earlier in the show that was dedicated to Rich. I hope you saw that. They use slow CW because there's so much noise. There's so much environmental noise down low on the frequency dial that gets louder there. So they use slow CW because it's easier to hear. That's the reason why. Noises are high, so they have to use slow. That's the reason why. Want to welcome Will Myers from the state of Wisconsin, Kilo Alpha 8, Golf India Mike. Again, it's a pleasure to see you. Thanks. Yep. Andy from the UK. Thanks for coming, Andy. His call sign, Mike 7, X-Ray Tango Tango. When's the N1MM guy on? Look forward to that one, mate. You know what? That's coming. In fact, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get him on for a Saturday show. More people are off work on Saturdays, and it gives them a chance to ask questions. So I hope it's going to be a Saturday. But right now, Tom and I are kind of working out the details, but he's definitely coming on. So, Andy, I'll give you at least a few shows notice to let you know what date he's coming. It's going to be a really popular show, I think. And Tom, thank you. That's cool. For Kilo Alpha 7, Mike Delta Mike, Greg Robinson to come here to do what he's doing is priceless to me. You know, I don't think life is ever meant to be, I don't know. I mean, when you get older, it makes sense. You know, you get to a point where things don't work like they used to, right? Well, I was in 2 rear-end collisions, really bad ones when I was young, and they told me you'll have neck problems later in life. When the MRI came in, they said it looked like a grenade went off in your neck. No wonder your arms are going numb. So this help is priceless to me. So Greg, again, thank you sincerely for coming to help me. We're going to try, by the way, and see if we can get Greg here on a little segment of the show so you can meet him. And I want to thank him personally on the show. So I hope we can do that. That'd be cool. All right, folks, we're going to close with a great sign off. This is a great one. This comes from Australia, one of my favorite places. You all know that by now. This is beautiful. It's a sign off from a station that's in Australia, and it talks about Sydney in a song. I hope you enjoy it. Until next time, my name's Larry. My call sign's Kilo 7 Hotel November. I don't get paid to do this. You help do this. You help with your generous PayPal donations, and it helps us to be able to keep the equipment here and to continue to keep this channel going. I can't thank you enough for that. I mean that sincerely. If you'd like to support the channel, find us at this PayPal address, because my mate Glenn Stevenson in Australia said, Larry, I tried the other one. It isn't working. This one will. If you'd like to help keep us going, Proverbs356@me.com. Just think of the Bible book Proverbs, put a B where the V is, you got it. PROBERBS 356@me.com, and you have helped me tremendously. And for those who have helped, by the way, the folks who have helped with buying this computer, I want to tell you, it wasn't the computer that caused the stream. It was just simply our internet. My apologies. There's nothing worse than sitting here going, why won't it work? What's going on? So please accept my apologies. I couldn't do anything about it. I was literally helpless. Thanks for watching Ham Radio Live. Until next time, God bless you, and thank you for being here wherever you are in the world. Our mission is to help people get in amateur radio. We thank you, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping us do that. God bless you all. Until next time, goodbye, everybody.
You're watching Seven's Colorful World as we draw to the end of another day.
My city of Sydney, I miss the warmth of you, miss the heart of your people, that little church steeple in Woolloomooloo, sailboats white polka dotting the blue of the bay, as they glide on their way through a clear afternoon. Night folks thirsting for fun, meeting most everyone at the cross as they toss in their merry balloon. My city of Sydney, I miss your glow at dark, miss the opera house lights from the bridge and the nights in a quiet Hyde Park. Though I'm thousands of miles from the surfers and smiles of your laugh-loving children at play. In a quiet Hyde Park. Though I'm thousands of miles from the surfers and smiles of your laugh-loving children at play. My warm city of Sydney,
of another day's viewing on Channel 7 in Sydney. And we look forward to your company again tomorrow. We'll be here at 6 a.m. with Shirl's Neighbourhood, and highlights of Friday night's viewing on 7 include The Goodies at 7 o'clock, and the Mac Trio go on holidays to Dunscraplin. At 7:30, those Kids of Fame have more spectacular singing and dancing. 8:30, Burt Lancaster, Lee Marvin and Robert Ryan blast into action as the professionals. Now, from all of us here at 7, this is Chris Kearns wishing you good night.